tired of being a pawn in the game of life? It's time to learn from the master of strategy, Sun Tzu. Today, you will become the strategist, unraveling the deadliest secrets of war and applying them in your everyday life. We're not talking about old battles in dusty books. We're talking about your daily struggle, your challenges, your conflicts. With Sun Tzu as your guide, you'll learn to transform weaknesses into deadly strengths, divisions into opportunities for victory, and evasion into your masterstroke. No more being a piece on the board. It's time to take control, to move the pieces by your rules. I don't want to waste your time, so let's get straight to the point. The legend of Sun Tzu. Do you think war is only for the strong? Mistake. Sun Tzu played a more cunning game, a mental game. The rumor spread throughout China that Sun Tzu was the most skilled general to have ever existed, capable of dominating and employing armies to achieve the results he sought. When he presented himself before the emperor, the first thing the emperor did was to test him to see if he was as capable as he claimed. The emperor said, "If you manage to transform my army into a disciplined, obedient force that follows orders and achieves its objectives, then I will entrust you with the entire army of China to lead my war." Instead of giving him an army of men, he gave him his concubines, the emperor's mistresses. These women, accustomed to seducing, not fighting, would soon discover the ferocity of a true strategist. In an exercise, Sun Tzu demands obedience. They respond with laughter. What does he do? Without blinking, he beheads 2 of the concubines. Cold-blooded tactics. Suddenly, every laugh turns into terror. Every movement, a response to fear. Sun Tzu not only formed an army, he formed an army that understood the price of disobedience. Here's the real bombshell. In war, and in life, it's not about how much you can hit, but how much you can manipulate. Sun Tzu teaches us that mind control, the psychology of fear and respect, are your most lethal weapons. So the next time you find yourself at a crossroads, ask yourself, are you going to be just another pawn, or are you going to be a master strategist like Sun Tzu? In the chess game of life, the weak are sacrificed, but strategists are born from the ashes of chaos. Be that strategist. Knowledge and self-knowledge. Do you think that war is just battles and blood? Sun Tzu will make you think again. For him, the real war is played out before swords even clash. Imagine a battlefield, screams, chaos, violence. But for Sun Tzu, this is the stage of the losers, of those who don't understand the art of war. The real battle, according to this master, is waged in the stillness of a strategy room, far from the heat of combat. Why? Because Sun Tzu's genius was not in how he wielded the sword, but in how he wove his strategy. For him, every movement, every decision, every tactic was calculated long before the armies faced each other. If you entered battle against Sun Tzu, you had already lost, even if you didn't know it, because he was playing chess while the others were playing with toy soldiers. So, when you think about conflicts, challenges, in your own life, remember Sun Tzu's lesson. True victory is not won with shouts and blows, it is won in the silence of your mind, planning, anticipating. In war, in business, in relationships, the one who plans, the one who anticipates, is the one who dominates. Don't be the one who reacts. Be the strategist, the one who moves the pieces with precision and coldness. Be the Sun Tzu of your own war. The 5 factors of war according to Sun Tzu. You think that war is just strategy and weapons, right? Sun Tzu taught us that there is much more. Here are the 5 pillars that define the true warrior. First, the Tao, harmony. It's not about chants and dances, it's about the fierce connection between leader and troop, the unbreakable union that decides whether you rise or fall. Then, the Tian, the climate. It's not just about knowing whether to carry an umbrella or not, it's mastering the art of using nature to your advantage, making the sun and the rain fight for you. The third pillar, the D, the terrain. It's not just the ground you walk on, it's knowing every hill, every valley, every alley like the back of your hand. Because in war, the one who knows the battlefield has half the victory won. The fourth pillar, the Yang, command. We're not talking about shouting orders, it's about cold, calculated decisions that can change fate in a second. And, lastly, the FA, the method. This is not about following a manual, it's knowing when to break the rules, when to be unpredictable, when to strike where no one expects. These are the 5 pillars of Sun Tzu, the 5 weapons you must carry not on your belt, but in your mind. In life, as in war, victory is not always for the strongest, but for the smartest, the most prepared. So ask yourself, are you building your strategy on these foundations? Or are you going into battle unarmed? Make these pillars your guide, and you won't just win battles, you'll dominate wars. The avoidance of confrontation. Do you think victory is measured in how many battles you fight? Sun Tzu would tell you that you are wrong. True mastery lies in winning without fighting. Imagine the battlefield, filled with tension, ready to explode. But here comes the twist. Sun Tzu tells us that the best warrior is not the one who draws his sword at every provocation, but the one who sheaths his weapon and wins without shedding a drop of blood. It's not cowardice, it's the highest strategy. At the negotiation table, with clever evasive maneuvers, Sun Tzu teaches us to handle conflict before it becomes war. Why? Because every battle brings losses, and the true strategist knows that his army is worth more intact, ready to fight another day. In your own wars, whether in the office or at home, remember that not all disputes deserve a battle. Sometimes, the greatest victory is the one achieved without fighting. So the next time you face a conflict situation, think of Sun Tzu. Ask yourself, can I win this without going to war? It's not about avoiding confrontation out of fear, it's about being so cunning that you don't need to fight. Be the master of evasion, the genius of prevention. Remember, in the game of life, the smartest are those who win battles without even fighting. That is the essence of wisdom according to Sun Tzu. Strategies for victory according to Sun Tzu. Forget the idea that war is just brute force. Sun Tzu, in his masterpiece, shows us that victory is achieved in the mind. Let's break down his tactics. First, the division of the enemy. In The Art of War, Sun Tzu does not just talk about direct confrontations, he highlights the importance of fracturing the enemy's cohesion. Divide, disorient, and conquer. The next step, according to Sun Tzu, is the balance between meticulous planning and bold improvisation. In his texts, he emphasizes the importance of having a plan, but also the skill to deviate from it when the situation requires. And most crucially, the transformation of weaknesses into strengths. Sun Tzu emphasizes that there is no absolute weakness, every failure is a window to new tactics, to surprise the enemy where they least expect it. So remember, in your personal and professional battles, apply the wisdom of Sun Tzu. Break the unity of your problems, maintain strategic flexibility, and turn your weak points into your strongest weapons. Don't just play the game, master the art of changing the rules. With these strategies, you won't just face challenges, you'll dominate them. That is Sun Tzu's path to ultimate victory.